origin stories in intergroup dialogue, telling your narrative, telling your story is how people connect and begin to understand how their own identities and how, by listening to others, their identity experiences are different and starts to illuminate understanding about the world around social justice. And that's still my heart. Dialogue work is, to me, the way that I go about making change in the world. People who are having such an influence on students absolutely need to be doing that work themselves. And we at the college level need to be doing that work ourselves too. Um, I think one of the important principles around intergroup dialogue is that I would never ask students to engage in a process that I am not willing to engage in myself. The transformation and awakening that I saw in students, um, not necessarily every day, but every semester, I definitely saw that happening, and to a variety of students from a variety of backgrounds and identities. So that was for sure, that made it worth it day in and day out. In talking with alums,
Yeah.
I hear that all the time. I just heard from someone who is now a physician. She started out as an undergrad, and she just messaged me on LinkedIn talking about how she's developing a kind of a professional development thing for her physician colleagues. She's utilizing some of this dialogic kind of work in her work with other physicians. I love hearing how even years later, this is still something that people are thinking about. And not just thinking about, they're utilizing it in their work and in their life. Dialogue that is devoid of understanding the power dynamics that are happening
Yeah.
is not the kind of dialogue I'm engaged in or want to be engaged in. I think there's a total missing piece to pretend that everybody that comes to this room to discuss something difficult has the same amount of contextual power behind them or even in the room, the roles that they have, on the identities that they bring, the histories of those identities that all enter the room. And if we're not thinking about that, it's not happening the
Mhm.
right way. It
Mhm.
just doesn't. And as facilitators of those conversations, if we're not thinking about that, then we're facilitating a discussion. It isn't dialogue.
Yeah.
And not being reflexive of our own stuff too, then really we've missed the point of facilitation in dialogic context.
Mhm.
But many people have asked me, so why did you go into like more full-time administration? Because I don't have those, oh, like see it. I see you struggling and then I see you like making sense of what this, and that's so exciting to see that. And I don't get anymore. But I have a different opportunity. So I think I now have the 30,000 foot view of higher education and policy and the impact that can have on many lives. I have appreciated being able to have a larger impact, even if I don't quite see the benefits firsthand. It's being in a position to remove the barriers and see what's possible and say yes
Mhm.
to removing those barriers. That's very rewarding. I have this earring that I've had for 30 plus years, and it's a woman's symbol, and I wear it every day. It symbolizes I am not a radical. I work in an institution of higher education, but this is my little reminder to myself every day, and I can always touch it to say, I have to be the one that says the thing in the room, or I have to be the one that asks the question of why are we doing it this way? It's so minor. Most people would never even notice this little earring. But for me, it's like my non radical way of reminding myself that I've got to stay engaged. I've got to do that. And so that's my little reminder to myself. And I think it is related to my son and my hope and aspiration for the future, that it's better.